Well, folks, welcome to my living room. Now, you already saw the tank in the thumbnail, so I'm not going to hide it behind a reveal or anything. Here it is. It's not a flawless paint job, but I think it came out pretty damn good. This tank is for a GPZ550, which is a Kawasaki from the 80s, and a pretty cool little bike. The design here is reminiscent of the old Kodak logos. We're in Rochester, New York, where Kodak is a big part of our history, so it's cool to be able to do a piece like this for a guy who is going to be leaving the city shortly. So this will be a nice little reminder. So if you watched the video about painting the tank for the BMW, you saw that this tank was in the background. So I'm not going to go into doing the primer and the base coat. If you want to see that, I would suggest you check out that other video. So where we pick up in this one, I have the base coat down, the black you see here, and then I sprayed a layer of clear coat over top of that in order to get ready for my Metalflake. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see in here because I'm using a piece of plastic over the camera. I don't have my microphone attached, but here's my plan. I'm going to do some Metalflake using this 2-key drag car flake from Paint Huffer. We're going to mix it in until it seems right. I'm going to try, maybe a tablespoon in 4 or 5 ounces of clear coat. I'm going to use my DeVilbiss primer gun with a 1.8 millimeter tip, as you want a large tip size in order to spray flake. It's been a few hours since I painted it. It takes a little time for this stuff to harden up, and what I'm going to do now is prepare to peel that last layer of masking tape off, which you can see there. What I'm going to do is take a razor blade and I'm going to drag it right along the edge of the masking tape. That way when I go and pull it off, it does not tear the clear coat with it. This feels like when you pull a little piece of plastic on the front face of your phone off for the very first time. And there you have it. I think that looks pretty good. What do you think? Nice and shiny. Next up will be a couple layers of clear coat just to hide that step in the paint. This is, decently thick with all the flake. And then we'll get on to spraying some color. Alright guys, it's the next day after unwrapping all of that, just to let the paint harden up a little bit before I'm going to spray another couple layers of clear coat on it. The reason that I'm doing that is just to level that surface out for my next step, which is going to be adding a little more tape because we're going to be doing the color layer. Oh my god. I don't know if you can see the sparkle right there. Spraying Metalflake is a messy process, as it turns out. And you can see it's all over the walls, it's on the lights. Pretty funny. So I'm going to vacuum up as much as I can. I want to make sure that this stuff doesn't get into my clear coat, but let's get to it. It's beautiful out today. It's so hard to stay motivated in the shop when it's so nice out. Oh, I just hear the bikes roaring by on the highway. Anyway, the candy paints that I ordered should be arriving today. So it's time to get the next step done. It turned out good. I mean, there's still, a couple imperfections in the clear coat and that sort of thing. And there's still a pronounced step between the two layers. But we'll try to work to minimize that. What I'm going to do now is bring this down to like 800 grit to prep for the candy colors and then the clear coat that's going to go on top of those. All right, guys, back in my editing studio in the present time. And I do mean present time as in I'm editing the video you're watching right now. And yeah, to anybody that's interested, I actually made all of the furniture that's in this room. I don't have that YouTube money coming in just yet. You know what would help is if you subscribed. We're going to skip ahead a little bit. You just watched me sand the tank down. I'm not going to show you taping up for the stripes because it's not that interesting and it really depends on your design. But I used 16th inch line tape to mark off my stripes. So there will be a 1/16 inch line in between each band of color. I'm using an airbrush for this step because the areas that I'm going to be painting are so small. It wouldn't make sense to use one of my larger guns. I'm also using House of Kolor Kandy paint that is pre-mixed and pre-reduced for use in an airbrush. So let's just get right into it. I've masked off all but one stripe here, and the first layer that I'm going to spray is a yellow color, Pagan Gold. I'm pretty happy with that. Now you saw I wasn't wearing the paint suit that I've worn previously, and that's just because with the airbrush you don't really have cause for concern with that overspray. I mean, that was more for my own shabby clothing. With the clear coat, I'm going to throw that back on. And obviously wearing a paint suit helps with dust, but when I've got such a small area to paint, it's less of an issue, especially also when it's vertical. Really like this little Lazy Susan thing that I brought along today. I think I'm going to use it again for the clear coat. You know, I did this as an effort to keep dust down. The less that you move in the paint booth, the less your feet are hitting the floor, kicking up dust, the less the air hose is dragging along the ground. So I think that will help the final finish. But I've got some cleaning to do. I got to degrease this thing. You can see some fingerprints like there. From when I was masking this stuff up yesterday. Yeah, 2 or 3 layers of clear coat. And this thing should be set. So here we are, 3 layers of clear down. Looking pretty good. I think I'll probably want to do one more round of clear coat. There is a bit of a ridge that's still here. You can kind of see the reflection like right there. And I do want to try to eliminate that as much as possible, so might bring this layer of clear down and then give it one more shot. Let's see where we are. But I don't think we need to see that. You guys got the process. And I think it turned out awesome. Really looking forward to seeing this on the bike. Well guys, I appreciate you sticking around till the end. Paint is fun. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but results are worth it. If you're new, you should know I do a lot more than just paint. We touch every part of the bike. I'm hoping that the next video is going to be the conclusion of putting together the airhead engine. Still waiting on my oil pump though. So thanks for coming along and I hope you stick around. I'll see you next time.